Hey guys, how's it going? Robert Warshak here, and this is going to be part one of my full set review of the Saviors of Uldum. We're going to be taking a look at Druid, Hunter, Mage, and Paladin cards in this video. We live streamed it on Twitch, and of course we edited it up into 3 separate parts because this review was like 2.5 hours long. So I took out the best parts for you guys and what I think, describe the cards the best when we reviewed them, and hopefully you enjoy it. So with that, let's head into the review and enjoy, guys. All right, so let's get into it. So we're going to take a look at Druid first. First ones we're going to take a look at is going to be the Druid quest. 1 mana, again, quest cards start in the opening hand. So as, if this is in your deck, you will draw it on turn number 1. 1 mana quest and end 4 turns with any unspent mana, and the reward is the tier, and the tier states it's a new hero power, and it says your choose 1 cards have both effects combined. So basically when you play, like, for example, so we play Hidden Oasis. Choose 1, summon a 6/6 ancient with taunt, or restore 12 health. You would basically get both of these at the same time. This is not necessarily a hard quest to compete, but the question is how many choose 1 cards are in the, like, how many of these are you going to put in a deck, right? And currently, there's really not many. I mean, the card I think of is Branching Paths, and that's a choose of 3, so that doesn't even count for this. You have, like, Power of the Wild. Apparently, you have, now Hidden Oasis, which is a choose 1. You have another choose 1 Oasis Surger here, so you got 2 cards. Choose 1, gain +2/+2, or summon a copy of this minion, so you could get 2 5-mana 5/5s with Rush. That's actually the Oasis Surger. Not too bad. Is there any other choose 1s? So, obviously, a Worthy Expedition works really well with the quest that we're taking a look at here, which we haven't gotten to the Worthy Expedition yet, but this does not seem great. It seems okay, but not great. Worthy Expedition, it's okay. I think being able to pick a choose 1's pretty good. For 1 mana, it's a really low price, so depending on the situation. 2 mana, 1/4 Crystal Merchant. If you have any unspent mana at the end of your turn, draw a card. Stats are pretty good. 2 mana, 1/4 is that's pretty bulky. If you play this on 2, though, you're not drawing a card. You play this on 3, you draw a card. Druid's normally known for drawing cards. It doesn't belong into any particular class, so it's not like a beast, so it doesn't have any particular synergies. It can be played at any part of the game. So, like, let's say, for example, you play this later on in the game. It's still a 2 mana 1/4 that if unchecked, you're going to be able to basically draw a card every single turn. So think of it like a Mana Tide later on. Instead of being a 0/3, it's a 1/4. Slightly harder to deal with. Would I play this in like a combo deck that requires like Tog Druid, for example? Like you just want to draw as many cards as possible. Probably not. I'd rather just play a card that gives me armor. For example, like Feral Rage. Or not Feral Rage. Ferocious Howl. Like 3 mana, draw a card, and then how many cards you have in your hand, you gain armor. I'd rather pay 1 more mana to get the armor because I don't really care about doing damage because I'm running a combo deck, right? So for the Druid class, like the whole unspent mana thing is fine, but the draw a card, like, meh. There's better Druid cards in my opinion. Bees is actually like one of my favorite cards of the expansion. 3 mana, choose a minion, summon 4 1/1 bees that attack it. This is like a super fun card, super high level play that can be done with this. I mean, whether you're attacking a minion with like Enrage, you're attacking a minion with whenever it attacks or whenever it takes damage, you know what I mean? You could attack a minion with Overkill. This card is probably one of my favorite Druid cards that I've seen. I haven't even looked at most of these Druid cards yet. Again, We've been very lax on our keeping up to date with which cards are in which class, but I mean, Bees was one of the ones that actually stood out to me prior, and this is a good card. This will probably be a 2 in every Druid deck for the time to come. There'll be many combos with this, many fun combos to be done with this. Yo, what up, James? How's it going, buddy? And yo, what up, Bobby McGee? I mean, this is a good card. This is just a good card. It's a 3 mana, deal 4 damage. It's a 3 mana, deal 4, and it's the worst possible situation. Guardian Gnome. I haven't seen this one. 4 mana, 2/3. So stats suck booty cheeks. Battle Cry. If you're holding a spell that costs 5 or more, summon 2/2 treants. Summon 2/2 treants. If you're holding a spell, it doesn't say if you're holding a card that costs more than 5. So it can't be like you're holding Malfurion or you're holding like a minion that costs more than 5. It has to be the spell, right? So the good spells that I think about: Nourish, UI, not in the meta anymore. Overflow, and Hidden Oasis would be the 2, right? It depends how good these are. I think the Hidden Oasis is actually going to be pretty solid. Overflow, restore 5 health. And to all characters, draw 5 cards. All right, that's actually pretty solid. Yeah. So I mean, we haven't gotten to overflow yet, but that's the overflow is actually pretty solid. And it's drawing cards puts this guy to shame. So overflow makes this card look even worse. It's really only found in like a like a token druid decks that want to go wide. And if you're playing wide decks, you're not necessarily like probably playing multiple giant spells. Maybe 4 to 6 total. Maybe Forest Aids. This is the new Arcane Tyrant. Boom! Thank you, King Diamonds. That's my guy right there. Arcane Tyrant. So good. In my opinion, this is just an updated Arcane Tyrant, and I think it's this is really good. This card is actually really good. And it's good that this card is good because it's an epic. I'm really tired of Blizzard printing shitty ass epic cards and shitty ass legendary cards. It kind of upsets me a little bit because for you guys, you know what I mean? Like you open up a pack, you get a nice card, it's an epic, it's a legendary, you open it up and it's dog shit. Epics need to be good. Legendaries, they need to be good. Whether you play them in every single deck, you don't need that. They need to be good at least at one thing. You know what I mean? Just one thing. They're epic and legendary for a reason. So this is a really solid card. And the fact that it has taunt is just good. Plus its picture is pretty cool. Legendary Druid card. Elise the Enlightened. 5 mana, 5/5 battle cry. If your deck has no duplicates, duplicate your hand. Cowabunga, dude. Stats are pretty solid. The effects very value oriented. Druid's looking funky. You know what I mean? They've got what seems to be duplicates. It's a lot of value generation if you think of it, because the hero power, you're being able to benefit off, running the cards that say, not duplicate, but choose ones. You get both of them, and then you have Elise, and that's able to like, make more cards that say, choose one in your hand, and then you activate both of them, and you do that twice. So I feel like Druid could possibly be very bursty in the late game if they're able to build up, all of these sort of enhancements, through their hero power, being able to get, the proper, worthy expedition, and then you throw Elise down there and you get 2 of these things and you play one and it counts twice. She's going to be, this card will be dependent on, first of all, how much Bomb Warrior is played, because as we know, if we're playing Bomb Warrior, or against Bomb Warrior and they put bombs into your deck, you will not be able to meet this requirement, because if you have more than one bomb in your deck, this effect will not be taking place. But if Bomb Warrior is not prominent and there's a couple more of these, if your deck has no duplicate cards, she'll actually be okay. But the problem is, if you're not running duplicates, that means you can't run, you can't run 2 of this guy, the new choose ones. You can't run 2 Hidden Oasis. You only can run 1. So like, the chance of drawing these is even slimmer. So in my opinion, I mean, as cool as this card is, there's too many requirements. Like, it's a lot of requirements, man. So if choose 1 decks are good, she'll be good. But if not, she'll be bad, in my opinion. I don't think choose 1 decks will, like, maybe 1 or 2 choose 1 decks will be good, but the rest will be bad. 5 mana, 3/3 rush. Choose 1, gain +2/+2, or summon a copy of this minion. So you could possibly make 2. It's either a 5 mana 5/5 with rush, or it's a 5 mana and you get 2 3/3s with rush. It's not bad. It's a good card. Hidden Oasis, 6 mana. Choose 1, summon a 6/6 ancient with taunt, or restore 12 health. So, I mean, just the fact that you choose 1, right? This card's good. 12 health is insane. 12 health is half your life, right? And if you're able to get the Druid quest off. But the thing is with the Druid quest in standard is that it's like, these things aren't DKs, so they're not like absolutely insane, but they're good enough that like, if you were to get the quest done, right, and then you play like cards like this, or you play the cards like this, like you're getting quite a bit of value on the floor. So I mean, that's just really solid. So I mean, if you're combining these cards with the quest, it's really good, but on it by themselves, they're also pretty good. Overflow, 7 mana, restore 5 health to all characters, draw 5 cards. So all characters, I could be a noob here, but it says all characters. Does that count for my opponent? It says all characters. So I'm assuming this counts for opposing players as well. So if we can go against a priest and they have a bunch of Northshire clerics out, let's overdraw the shit out of those guys. But yeah, this is a good card regardless if you're going to heal your opponents as well. Not that this has anything to actually do with anything about like the card, but like, let's take a look at this picture. We like, first of all, the wave is above the walls themselves, so wouldn't the water just overflow the actual dam? Second of all, why are there like what looks to be an imp and a nobold together? Why are the imps and the nobolds working together? And why are they caught in a giant wave? What seems to be like, you know, there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions with these pictures, and there's answers that need to be. There's a lot of answers that need to be answered. I should probably stop focusing on the actual artwork, but do you see what I'm seeing here? Moving to Hunter cards. Hunter Quest. Unseal the Vault. 1 mana. Quest. Summon 20 minions. Holy shit, that is a big requirement. I'm not gonna lie, that's hefty. That's a hefty thing. Reward. You get the Rom-Can Roar. I swear to God, this better be something really juicy. 2 mana. Give your minions +2 attack. That's it? Why would I care? I mean, yeah. If you're summoning 20 minions and you can have 20 minions on the board and then you give them all +2 attack. Well, first of all, if you have 20 minions, you win. I think if you play 20 minions in a game, you kind of just win that game anyway, right? So this sucks. This looks almighty powerful, but I think this card fucking sucks. I'll go out there and say this card sucks. I need to take a sip of coffee. This makes me upset. Why change your hero power? Your hero power does 2 damage anyway. Why give things +2 attack when you, like, imagine if you only have 1 minion out and you use this hero power and you give this minion. Okay, think about this. Put this in your boots. You played 20 minions. You're a hard worker out here in the streets. You've built your deck around Unseal the Vault. You're excited. You get this shit done. You play 20 minions. You've got a minion on the board. You attack with that minion, and you hero power, and it gives that minion +2 attack. You did the same fucking thing as if you would have never changed your hero power in the first place. This is some hot fucking garbage. This is a steaming pile of dog shit with sprinkles on it. We're moving along. I can't even look at this. The Pressure Plate. 2 mana. Secret. After your opponent casts a spell, destroy an enemy minion. A random enemy minion. This should say destroy the highest cost enemy minion. It would reduce the RNG of this card and actually make it good. I don't like this card at all. Alright, Desert Spear. 3 mana. 1/3. After your hero attacks, summon a 1/1 Locust with Rush. Locusts are beasts, from what I understand. What I understand is correct. So this fits in with the quest, right? So you Desert Spear, you attack, it summons a minion, it combines with this piece of shit, and then you get this piece of shit Rosticons or Ramcan or fucking this Roar of garbage. Yeah, this card sucks. Yeah, the Spear. Why play a 3 mana 1/3 when you can play Eaglehorn Bow and have a 3 mana 3/2 that every time you play shitty cards like Pressure Plate, you get an extra durability. I might be being a little harsh, but it is what it is. 3 mana, Hunter's Pack. Add a random hunter beast secret and weapon to your hand. It's a decent amount of value. This card's good though. Hunter's Pack that's pretty UC. That's a 1 card that turns into 3 cards. Any card that turns into 3 things, it's hard to say it's bad, you know? Ooh, this guy looks cool. 3 mana, 4/3, copy a random beast in your hand. Battle Cry. Alright, how's this card not a fucking beast? It's literally a tiger. I'm calling shenanigans. Does she not know what she is? Alright, boys. Check this combo out. You play this card. This is totally not RNG oriented at all. You play a 3 mana, add a random hunter beast to your hand, right? It's a random beast. Totally not random. Then you go ahead and you play this card, and it says copy a random beast in your hand. Totally not random. You could possibly, if done correctly, make 2 random beast cards in your deck. Think about that. 4 mana, 3/3, Hyena Alpha. Honestly, I fucking hate the artwork. I feel like my sister drew this with a bunch of Crayola crayons. Battle Cry. If you control a secret, summon 2/2/2 hyenas. All right, this card's good. Regardless of my sister drawing this card with Crayolas, this card is actually pretty good. This card will be played in every single Secret Hunter deck. Ooh, Wild Bloodstinger. Yo, my sister got, she went to art class. She doesn't draw with Crayolas anymore. She does water paints. 6 mana, 6/9. This guy's stats are 69. Anyway, Battle Cry. Summon a minion from your opponent's hand and attack it. Yeah, this card's really good. This card is really good. This card's stats are insane, and this guy's Battle Cry is insane. This guy is good. This is a good hunter card. This is maybe, it's not as good. Savannah Highmane. Savannah Highmane is good, man. But Wild Bloodstinger, that card's good too. And this card looks badass. Next, Scarlet Webweaver. 6 mana, 5/5 beast. Battle Cry. Reduce the cost of a random beast in your hand by 5. That is also very good. Think about one mana Savannah Highmane. Holy smokes. And its stats are really good, and it's a beast. This card is amazing. Yeah, both these cards cost 6 mana though. So if you, I mean, that's a lot of 6 mana cards. If we're playing 2 Savannah Highmane, 2 Wild Bloodstingers, and 2 Scarlet Webweavers, that's a lot of shit on 6 mana. So I'm assuming that's why they did that, because all 3 of those cards are exceedingly powerful, and to have all of them at the same mana slot bogs down hunters for sure. Because if you draw 2 of them, you know, unless you have coin, you know, you're not like, you'd coin Scarlet Webweaver first, right? And then it would hopefully discount other shit. You would never play this in any sort of aggressive style hunter deck, because like all of the hunter cards would be low cost anyway. And all of the hunter decks, as we see right now on ladder, or it's going to be Death Rattle Hunter, which is pretty much like non-existent. And then we have Secret Hunter, which is actually pretty good, but all of the cards in the deck are very, very cheap. So we're going to maybe see some form of new style of Beast Hunter, which will probably run some sizable beasts, which is where where this particular discount comes in order. And yeah, but good card. 6 mana, Swarm of Locusts. Summon 7 1/1 locusts with rush. Wow, 7 locusts. That's almost halfway to completing this shitty quest. Okay, wow. Another 6 mana. So Hunter 6 mana, 6 mana, 6 mana. Yikes. I wish they wouldn't have done that. It's on the scale of like good to bad, it's slightly below like what would be average. 7 mana, 2/4. This ability better rock my world. If your deck has no duplicates, summon King Crush. All right, this ability just rocked my world. 7 mana King Crush instead of a 9 mana King Crush. But the problem is your deck has no duplicates. So, listen here. They printed so many 6 mana cards because you're only going to play one of each of these cards. So, in essence, boys, you could play Swarm of Locusts, Scarlet Webweaver, and Wild Bloodstinger in the same deck because you have this cocklock and loaded beast right here, the Dino Tamer Bran. I see what they're doing here. Singleton Beast Hunter. You run one. Ooh. And you even how you say me? You run one of each secret that's available, and then you can play one, not 2, but 1 Hyena Alpha. That's right, boys. 1 mana quest. Cast 10 spells. Reward the scroll. The scroll says 2 mana. Add a random mage spell to your hand. It costs 2 less. I mean, I've covered this card before. Obviously, that's a very powerful ability. And casting 10 spells isn't something a mage really has to do. Mage does that regardless. Almost any mage deck you ever play ever is going to cast 10 spells. It's not necessarily that hard. I really hate the whole add a random mage spell to your hand. There's a lot of really shitty mage spells, and there's a lot of really powerful mage spells. So depending on how much you play, how much money you've paid Blizzard, excluding me because I'm garbage, you'll be able to generate some pretty powerful mage cards. So if you're a free-to-play player, this is not the card for you. But if you paid a lot of money to Blizzard, let me tell you, this card's going to be exceedingly powerful. 2 mana, 3/2 stats are there. After you play a secret, deal 2 damage to all enemy minions. Holy smokes. Wow, that card is insane. Secret Mage is back in action. I'm not gonna lie, they could have made this ogre mage look a lot prettier. Ancient Mysteries, 2 mana, draw a secret from your deck, it costs 0s. Wow. Did you got the synergies, boys? We've got this, and then we get to play a secret for free, and then it does 2 damage to everything? Wow. Nah, it's actually a really good card. Ancient Mysteries is insane. Flame Ward. A lantern that shot 3 fireballs. I guess each ball of fire is equal to 1 damage because after your minion attacks your hero, deal 3 damage to all enemy minions. So very good card. This is actually a really, really good secret. Very defensive. It's a very defensive secret versus aggressive style decks. And previously, there are no secrets that do well against aggressive style decks. If you can think back, we've got, potentially Counterspell, which could be maybe sometimes useful. But, Mirror Image, copying like a spell or copying a minion that your opponent plays. And if they're playing in a more aggressive style deck, you're copying maybe like a 1/1, a 2/1, a 3/2 possibly. They're not really high level stuff, but, Flame Ward is it's something that Mage hasn't had before, or hasn't been able to have before, so it's actually really good. Flame Ward is a good secret. Versus aggressive style deck. So if the meta is aggressive, Flame Ward is your shit. But if the meta is, more control style or more mid-range style, dealing 3 damage to all enemy minions, really doesn't do too much. And it also says after a minion attacks your hero, which means your hero actually takes the damage first, and then it does the damage. So it doesn't actually stop the minion from attacking. So for example, if a Flame Imp, it's a 1 mana 3/2 attacks your hero and you have 3 HP, you're going to die. It's not going to save you. It's going to kill everything after you're dead, but you're already dead. So 3 mana 3/3. After you cast a spell, add a random mage minion to your hand. Guys, I'm calling it now. I've decided I would like to be a Blizzard employee for all mage cards in the future. And every mage card that, we won't even do every mage card. Half the mage cards that I make in the future, I'm going to go after after you cast something, you're just going to make a random card and you're going to do something with it. We're going to discount the card sometimes. Sometimes you make minions. Sometimes you make spells. Sometimes it just casts a bunch of, let's have it just cast 10 random mage spells. And it can be a single spell. And then we'll have a card that's a mage minion, and we'll just have that card cast random spells from your deck, which also then casts more random spells. I think I would be really good at this. I think this is a positive way to go, and I think this definitely keeps the competitive integrity of the game intact. I think this is a perfect way to be able to handle all RNG things in the future. This is good stuff. 5 mana, 5/5 Battlecry. Change the cost of spells in your hand to 5. For example, if you're going to be playing this card, and you're going to want to cast 10 spells, right? Those spells most likely are going to be in the range of 1 to 7 mana. Most of them are going to be below 7 mana. You might play 2 Flame Strikes and 2 Blizzards because that's standard in most Mage control lists. So if you're going to play a card, not this card, if you're going to play a card that's going to change them to 5, I think that's going to hurt you more than help you. So I don't think this card is, I don't think this card's that good. I think this is a card that if potentially gets randomly generated from the Doom Sculptor, which after you cast a random spell that you randomly generated through one of the random cards in your deck that randomly generates this random minion, and this discounts one of the random cards that you've generated that costs more than 5 mana in your hand to 5. I mean, that's value. But besides that, I don't like it. 5 mana, 4/4 elemental Battlecry. If you control a secret, deal 6 damage. Ho! Cloud Prince. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. You're doing big things, aren't you there, cowgirl? That card's seen things that we wish we could have seen. Plus, the picture looks badass. That's a good card. If you're running any sort of secret mage, you're running that guy. It just says deal 6 damage. That could be to a minion. That could be to face. Think about it. You could deal 6 damage to yourself. The possibilities are endless. Reno. 6 mana, 4/6. Battlecry. If your deck has no duplicates, deal 10 damage randomly split among all enemies. That's it? Hold on. Have you guys seen this card before? I'm going to pull this card up for you real quick. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about this card. Because this card states that Battle Cry, if you have 10 mana crystals, did 10 damage to a minion. And this costs 4 mana, and it's a 4/5 in mech. And then this card is 6 mana. It costs more mana. It only has 1 more health, and it requires your entire deck to have no duplicates. And it could deal 10 damage randomly split among all enemies. Enemy minions. This can't even go face. If this could go face, Reno could probably talk to me at the bar. But the fact that this doesn't even go face, if this guy came up to me at a bar, I'd slap the shit out of his little smirk ass face. Say, get out of here. I already have my friend. Omega Devastator. 8 mana, 5/5, 5/5 Battle Cry. Discover a copy of a spell in your deck and cast it with random targets. $10 mana. Cast 10 random spells, targets chosen randomly. Moving to the Paladin cards. 1 mana, 2/1. Whenever you summon a minion, gain 1 attack. It's a good aggro Paladin card. If unchecked, it just keeps growing, right? It's a grower, not a shower. 1 mana. Quest. Play 5 reborn minions. Reward. We get the wraps. What's the wraps? Summon a 2/2 copy of a friendly minion. That's a faceless manipulator. And a hero power. That's very strong. It's actually, this is really good. Especially if you're playing reborn cards, right? So you like play like a big old thick ass reborn card that has like cool shit, and then you like make a faceless manipulator copy of it. Playing 5 reborn minions really isn't that hard considering the whole set has reborn built into it. So this is actually really, really solid. I think this is a solid hero power. Definitely a value generator. 2 mana, 2/3 Murloc, Sir Finley of the Sands. Battle Cry. If your deck has no duplicates, discover an upgraded hero power. That's odd Paladin, right? 2 mana, summon 2 1/1 dudes. Like, yeah, this card, this is all right. Let me break it down. So, cards, for example, like this. If you draw this card in the early stages of the game, and you play this card, your chances of success of winning are greatly increased. If you play a deck revolving around this particular card, and you don't draw this card in the early stages of the game, your success chance of winning that said game are lower. And that's not because of the cards that you're playing, or what you're playing against, or how you're playing your deck. It is merely the probability that you draw this card earlier than not. And that's RNG I don't like. This reminds me of Prince. You know, you draw Prince in a rogue deck, you know, give everything in your deck +1/+1, and then, you know, that's already a good, and then they shadow step it, and then they do it again. Granted, this card doesn't, you know, the whole shadow step thing doesn't work, but it just reminds me of like a new Prince, you know what I mean? Like, you draw this card, they play it on turn 2, you're fucked. Either they don't draw this card, you're like, you know, hibbity hobbitus, nobody stopped us. I don't know. So, as I like the whole upgrading the hero power thing, I would have preferred to see this in a class that the hero power isn't as impactful. So maybe like Priest, maybe Warrior, maybe Warlock, tapping for 1 instead of 2, or tapping for none. You know what I mean? I would have rather seen this in like a not Paladin. 2 mana, 1/2 mech, and it has Reborn. At the end of your turn, give another friendly minion. Oh my god, at the end of your turn, give another friendly minion +1 attack. Again, if unchecked, this grows, and it's a 2 mana, and it's a mech, and it has Reborn. This card is good. This card is very good. This micro mummy is really good. This card is dank as shit. Especially in combination with like this. So you play like the Zalot, right? And then whenever you summon a minion, you gain +1 attack, and then at the end of the turn, you give a minion +1 attack. So you get a 1 mana 3/1. No. 1 mana 4/1 on a turn 1 and 2 play. 2 mana 3/1 beast. Why did they make this a beast? Battle cry, add 2/1 sand wasps to your hand. And a sand wasp does not have rush. It's a beast. And it's a 1 mana 2/1. So speaking of just value, this is a really good value card. Speaking of what the fuck does beasts and wasps have to do with the Paladin class? You got me fucked up. 2 mana subdue. Set a minion's attack and health to 1. So basically you turn something into a wet noodle for that low cost of 2 mana. So this is wet noodle card. I like it. I like wet noodle cards. 3 mana, 3/1 beast. What's going on here? What's the beast thing going on here? Death rattle. Why doesn't it say reborn? Draw 2 1 health minions from your deck. I mean, obviously an aggro card, right? This is a very aggressive style card. And remember, it says draw 2 1 health minions from your deck, not 1 mana cost minions, not 1/1. So you're able to get, you could possibly get another, Pride. You could possibly get yourself some Sand Queen, Sand Wasp Queen. You could possibly find yourself some of this Brazen Zalot. Your options with Sir fucking Pride, or it's, he's pounced, he's ready to go. 4 mana 4/2 Lifesteal Reborn. It's a good card because if they trade into it and try to kill it, like let's say they try to trade up, they trade like a 2/1 into this, you're gonna gain 4 life and you're gonna make another 4/1, and then they try to kill that and you're gonna get another 4 life. So it's a 4 mana. Maybe heal 4 to 8 life, and it's gonna take at least 1 minion. So, not bad. Obviously not. I don't think this will be a particularly competitive card, but in arena, it's really good. Maybe some budget, aggressive style paladins. It may be okay. 6 mana, Pharaoh's Blessing. I couldn't make that guy look any cooler. Give a minion +4/+4 Divine Shield and Taunt. Hold on a second. That's all I have to say. 8 mana. Tip the scales. Summon 7 Murlocs from your deck. Let me get this right. You printed no Murlocs at all, besides Sir Finley, who has a battle cry. And then you printed a high value Murloc card. Paladin's in a really weird place, boys.